Do we still love all these films?
Always.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Wizarding World movies.
You're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
A wizard.
Before we begin,
Still waiting on your Hogwarts letter? Then be sure to check out our network-wide Harry Potter week from the 12th to the 18th. In the lead-up to Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, Ms. Mojo, WatchMojo, and WatchMojo UK will be releasing a whole slew of new videos about your favorite boy wizard and all the fantastic beasts your non-muggle heart desires, such as Ms. Mojo's top 10 Harry Potter actors who were replaced in the sequels.
When in doubt, I find retracing my steps to be a wise place to begin.
And WatchMojo UK's top 10 fantastic beasts in the Harry Potter universe.
Can we panic now?
For this list, we're ranking the films that take place in the magical world created by J.K. Rowling, according to both the quality of the films by themselves and how well they adapted their source material. Number 10, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
I can't move against Grindelwald. It has to be you.
In the second entry of the Fantastic Beasts series, we got to take a deeper dive into the history and lore of the Wizarding World. With a sprinkling of new magical beasts, a foray to Paris, and a hint of darker times on the horizon, The Crimes of Grindelwald saw its characters ultimately having to choose a side in the coming conflict. Johnny Depp played the dark wizard Grindelwald with typical panache, while Jude Law took on a younger version of everyone's favorite Hogwarts headmaster, all the while making all of us happy to be back at Hogwarts again.
That's an unusual one. What Mr. Scamander fears above everything else is...
Having to work in an office, sir.
The stakes were raised much higher than in the first film, and it left us on the edge of our seats, waiting to see what would happen next. Number 9, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. After a 5-year hiatus on the heels of Deathly Hallows Part 2, fans were eager for more content from the Wizarding World. J.K. Rowling actually penned the screenplay for this prequel movie, which brought viewers back in time to 1920s New York.
Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
While the movie's protagonist, the reserved, mumbling Newt Scamander, didn't have quite the same charm as wide-eyed Harry Potter, the film treated viewers to new aspects of the world we've come to know and love.
who are you?
I'm sorry.
Who are you?
Newt Scamander, and you are?
Sure, we might all know the antagonist's final fate, but it didn't take away from the fun, and the Fantastic Beasts themselves made it well worth watching.
He has some attachment issues. Now come on, Pickett. Pickett. No, they're not going to bully you. Now come on.
Number 8, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. It's become something of a trend to split the last book in a young adult novel series into 2 films, and the results have varied to say the least. In a lot of ways, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 is actually a great standalone film which adapts the source material faithfully, offering fan service to the most serious Potter devotees.
Dobby is happy to be with his friend, Harry Potter.
On the other hand, the movie may feel a little too meandering for many viewers who really just want to reach the conclusion of the saga. Much of the action is to be found in Deathly Hallows Part 2, while this film focuses more on character development and building tension.
I thought you knew what you signed up for.
Yeah, I thought I did too.
Number 7, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Why are you wearing glasses?
Reading.
Reading? I didn't know you could read.
After our first introduction to Hogwarts and the Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets was an excellent follow-up that fleshed out the characters and world we'd already fallen in love with. The stakes are raised in this film when the students of Hogwarts begin being petrified by an unknown monster prowling the castle, and Harry is accused of being involved in the terror.
She's not dead, August. She has been petrified.
Ah, thought so. So unlucky I wasn't there. I know exactly the counter-curse that could have spared her.
Because the story is a shorter one, it's easy for this movie to be faithful to the source material, which fans appreciate, and seeing Dobby, Lockhart, Aragog, and of course the flying Ford Anglia brought to life is a ton of fun.
Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free.
Number 6. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Seriously misunderstood creatures spiders are. It's the eyes, I reckon, they unnerve some folk.
Not to mention the pincers.
There is a lot going on in Half-Blood Prince, from the budding romances to the exploration of Voldemort's past to the mystery of the Half-Blood Prince himself. It's tough to fit all of this into one normal-length movie. And on top of that, the tone of this film is perhaps more somber than it needs to be, considering the elements of fun that exist in the book.
I suppose you want to break up with him now that he's suddenly all interesting.
Some of the creative changes did, however, add to the film, like the portrayal of Harry being high on Felix Felicis, and the decision to omit Dumbledore's funeral in favor of a poignant moment where the students of Hogwarts raise their wands in his honor. Number 5. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
One person couldn't feel all that. It'd explode.
Just because you've got the emotional range of a teaspoon.
The Harry Potter series is split between the relatively lighthearted tone of the earlier films and the darker nature of the later ones. Order of the Phoenix is placed decidedly in the latter half, after Voldemort's revival. Many complain about Harry's grouchy attitude in this film, despite the fact that his mind is being influenced by Voldemort's own.
Look at me! What's happening to me?
But the end result is a movie that feels less magical than the ones that came before it. On the plus side, the political undertones are moved into the foreground here, making it a movie with striking real-world parallels that broaden its appeal.
Dolores Umbridge will, as High Inquisitor, have powers to address the seriously falling standards at Hogwarts School.
Number 4. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Harry, you put your name in the Goblet of Fire.
No, sir.
Many people consider this book and movie to be the heart of the series, as well as a turning point in the narrative, where things inevitably become more serious thanks to Voldemort's return. Because of the structure of the Tri-Wizard Tournament, viewers get to watch 3 exciting tasks and be taken outside of the scope of the world we know by attending the Quidditch World Cup.
I think you're in love, Ron.
Shut up.
Victor, I love you. Victor, I do.
When we're apart, my heart beats only for you.
Sounds like the Irish got their pride on.
Though there has been death in the series before this, it's largely taken place off-screen. So when one of Harry's peers is killed, we knew things would never be the same again.
He's back. Voldemort's back. Cedric, he asked me to bring his body back. I couldn't leave him. Not that.
Number 3. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Harry Potter. The boy who lived. Come to die.
It's tough to decide where to place this film on our list because, on the one hand, it took numerous creative liberties with the material of the book, some of which worked better than others, but on the other hand, it was the culmination of the story so many of us had waited to see.
I've always wanted to use that spell.
Despite this book being split into 2 films, the second installment feels somewhat rushed, and the action sequences sometimes devolve into a spectacle of visual effects. Despite all this, we can't help but love the emotional moments packed into the saga's epic conclusion, and the beautiful epilogue that brings us, in a sense, full circle.
Albus Severus Potter. You were named after 2 headmasters of Hogwarts. One of them was a Slytherin, and he was the bravest man I've ever known.
Number 2. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Take her away, Ian.
Yeah, take it away, Ernie. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
There's probably no film in this franchise more divisive than Prisoner of Azkaban.
That felt good.
Not good. Brilliant.
If you didn't read the book, it'd be easy for this movie to be your favorite of the bunch, since Alfonso Cuarón's direction brought a stylistic edge to the story that makes it stand out and feel distinctly modern. Serious Potter fans, however, found the deviations from the plot of the book to be upsetting, and were especially outraged when major plot points were essentially omitted completely, like the explanation of who exactly was behind the Marauders map. But even if we had a time turner, we wouldn't change a thing about this thrilling addition to the Wizarding world.
Messrs. Mooney, Wormtail, Padfoot, and Prongs. offer their compliments to Professor Snape.
Number 1. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Now, if you two don't mind, I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed. Or worse, expelled.
Though so many great films were to follow, we'll never be able to recapture the magic of watching the first Harry Potter movie in theaters when it was released. For fans of the books, being able to see the world that had only existed in their heads on the big screen was an unparalleled experience.
Besides, you're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
You do it then if you're so clever.
The creators of the film knew how closely those fans would be watching, so they stuck to the plot as faithfully as possible, and in the process provided us with some of the most iconic moments in the entire series.
Feels strange to be going home, doesn't it?
I'm not going home. Not really.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.